Understanding flight availability is key to successful use of Apollo. To help you master availability in Apollo, you will learn how to request basic availability, interpret an availability display, request opposite availability for a return flight, and modify an availability display. Before we learn how to display availability, let's discuss how airlines participate in Apollo. Airlines can offer their flights and services through Apollo at 3 different levels: full participation, booking participation, and schedule participation. The airline's participation level determines your real-time access to flight inventory, booking capabilities, and special services such as special meals and wheelchairs. Apollo full participation airlines offer the highest level of access. These airlines have inside link functionality, which provides availability status messages and allows Apollo to display the airline's availability. Inside availability airlines show their actual inventory in Apollo availability. When you request availability, Apollo sends a message to the airline requesting current inventory status and displays it. Inventory decrements when you end the record. When you sell a flight, an asterisk appears indicating you sold a segment through the link with the airline. On the availability screen, any airline with an end item before the carrier code is an inside availability vendor. Last seat sell reduces the airline's inventory at the time of sell. When you sell a seat, Apollo sends the request to the airline for confirmation. On the availability screen, any airline with an asterisk before the carrier code is a last seat sell vendor. The airline will guarantee the booking as long as an asterisk appears at the end of the sold segment and a positive acknowledgement appears in the record. Display option link or guaranteed sell enables an airline to guarantee a booking even though at the time of booking it does not reduce actual inventory. A pillow attaches to the end of a guaranteed sell segment sold through display option link. On the availability screen, any airline with a pillow before the carrier code is a guaranteed sell vendor. Later, we will learn to sell display option link airlines through the link to guarantee the booking. Positive acknowledgement airlines return a record locator to Apollo once their system establishes the PNR. The record locator then attaches itself to the Apollo PNR. On the availability screen, any airline with a colon before the carrier code is a positive acknowledgement carrier. Airlines with booking participation let you book flights but offer no access to current availability. Apollo sends a message to the airline requesting space on a flight. The airline then returns a message to Apollo either accepting or rejecting the request. Although you can make bookings, you may be required to guarantee payment with a credit card before you can save the PNR. Airlines with scheduled participation in Apollo have limited processing capabilities. The airline's non-stop and direct flights appear in Apollo availability, however, there is no booking capability. Now let's discuss the 3 main Apollo availability assumptions. Apollo displays non-stop, then direct and connecting flights based on the shortest time it takes to get from origin to destination. Non-stop flight is a flight from the origin to the destination without a stop. Direct flight is a flight that stops en route and usually does not require a change in planes. Connecting flight is a flight schedule requiring a change of planes. Connections are either using the same airline, which is called online connection, or different airlines, offline connections. Apollo also displays a preferred departure time of midnight for all possible options from 0 AM to 11:59 PM. Finally, Apollo displays all applicable participating airlines. The basic Apollo availability format starts with the letter A. To display air availability, you would type the letter A followed by the departure date, origin and destination city or airport, and press enter. This is the basic availability display with flight information for New York to Prague. The header line shows the day of the week, Thursday, travel date, 2nd of July, origin, New York, destination, Prague, and the time difference. Prague is 6 hours later than New York. You can tap to Meals prompt and press Enter to access meal and in-flight services information for carriers in the display. To locate the additional classes of service for carriers on the display, use the Classes prompt. Tap to this prompt and type the line number you wish to expand. Use the More prompt to request more availability for the city pair. There are 5 additional sections on the basic availability screen. Special characters such as the end item play an important role. Apollo references flights by line number. Line 3 is Delta Flight 208. The end item after the line number means that Delta supports inside availability. The asterisk after the number 1 in the first line indicates that Czech Airlines is a last seat cell participant in Apollo. Review line 1 and note that J through T indicate the classes of service. The number next to each class of service indicates the seats available for sale in that class. The end item at the end of the row indicates that there are more classes available. On line 1, note that JFK and Prague is the city pair. The flight departs at 4:10 p.m. in JFK and arrives at 6:15 a.m. the next day in Prague. The end item indicates next day arrival. Again, notice on line 1 that Czech Airlines use the Airbus 313 on this route. On line 2, the asterisk after 310 indicates that this is a codeshare flight. The last column indicates the number of stops. You can tap to Meals prompt and press Enter to access meal and in-flight services information. Note in line number 2 that the flight DL8743 is operated by Czech Airlines. You can also view the meal service in different cabins: first class cabin, business class cabin, and economy class cabin. M stands for meal, S stands for snack, D stands for dinner, B stands for breakfast. You will also see L, which stands for lunch, or F, which stands for food for purchase. Some airlines provide additional service information, such as M for movies. In some instances you will see V for video, A for audio. N stands for non-smoking flight. E stands for a flight that is eligible for electronic ticketing. And finally, the last column indicates the flight duration. To locate the additional classes, you can use the Classes prompt. You tap to Classes prompt, you type the line number that you would like to expand, and you hit Enter. Lines 1 through 4 show non-stop flights. Lines 5 through 8 show connecting flights. For example, flight BA174 in line number 7 departs JFK at 6:55 and arrives in London Heathrow at 6:55 a.m. next morning. It connects to flight BA854 departing London Heathrow at 7:55 a.m. and arriving in Prague at 10:55 a.m.